Hey, what's up with y'all again? This particular topic is a very controversial one within the pagan community, and that's particularly dealing with Satanism. It's a very hush-hush thing. A lot of pagans really do not want to even claim Satanism as part of paganism in no way, shape, or form because the whole problem that goes with it. And trust me, it's very understandable. I'm discussing this just based off the fact that I think there should be some things that's clarified before we really go any further. Uh, there is actually several types of Satanism. A lot of people might be scratching the back of their head like, really? Yeah, there is several types of Satanism. The most known version of Satanism is the LaVey, whatever his freaking name is, Church of Satan, Satanism, where they don't really look at Satan as an actual being, more like a psychopomp, more like an archetype, something to aspire to, something to, if you're gonna be the bad kid on the block, you're gonna be the bad kid on the block, and you're gonna enjoy it. That type of thinking. That type of Satanism is no real spirituality to it. I mean, yeah, you can say there's a tad bit spirituality, but these particular type of Satanists are almost borderline atheists. They don't really believe in hell. They don't really believe in heaven, but they use these notions in a way to, how should I say it, as symbols, really. As symbols. That's pretty much how they use it, symbols. Nothing more, nothing less than that. Then there's the spiritual Satanists. These are the Satanists who pretty much are pagans. They don't look at Satanism as an evil thing, to be evil, to be sinful. It's still very, very practical. It's taking things. It's still a very selfish, or how should I say, internal spirituality, because it's based on bringing your spiritual level, your spiritual power, your spiritual awareness to a whole nother level. Psychic, everything else. Your main goal within spiritual Satanism is pretty much trying to become God hand, or practically become a god. Spiritual Satanism, now there's a couple of different types. There's the one type that completely gets rid of the whole notion of Satan. They go back to Lucifer. They go back to the original names. And for all those pagans who really know who Lucifer is, we all know Lucifer is not a bad character. They do have some radical points against Christianity, and some of them is very plausible, very concrete, while others are a little bit over to the left. You kind of want to scratch your head. Now, you have to understand, spiritual Satanism is not based on hate, or at least it should. That doesn't mean there are some sects, some people within spiritual Satanism that really think that all is about hate, love, and spiritual Satanism is not the only spiritual religion to be adopted just for hate. I mean, Christianity has been adopted for hate. The KKK is pretty much Christian. Odin, there's a sect, there's actually a lot of Norse mythology used for hate. Thor and Satan in particularly for skinheads, neo-Nazis. They utilize it. Even Zeus has became a symbol of hate for some. So you can't really say, you can't blame the whole religion of Satanism, the whole belief of Satanism, just because of some ignorant assholes. Now, the true Satanists, the true spiritual Satanists, these are, yes, very internal people. Meaning they use dark magic, they, they work based on themselves, to make themselves better, to bring their spiritualness from like a 5 to level 75. There's nothing wrong with that. I have found out a lot of these spiritual Satanists are no different than normal pagans. They're cool with everybody. A lot of them work with dragons or work with snakes or other aspects of shamanism. There's even a type of Satanism where it's pretty much borderline shamanism. There's another type of Satanism. They call there's actually a website called Joy Satan, where it does explain a lot of things. There's a little air of hate. There's a little air of hate, against Christianity. And I think most pagans, if not the mass majority of pagans, all have that slight grudge against Christianity. So we can't really judge Satanism to have a really big grudge against Christianity. We all pagans know that we have been hit really hard by Christianity throughout history, so we all got that little grin in our teeth when it comes to Christianity. We do nowadays try to accept it just as much as they try to accept us, but there's still in the back of our heads, if they decide to attack us first, we wouldn't mind attacking back with full force. And I think that's a lot of pagans who think like that. Not saying all do, just saying a good majority do. Now, everybody's major question is Satanism evil? I don't think it is. I think the majority of the reasons why people will find it evil is based off of newbies, people who watch the movies, watch the TV shows, and think you have to do something crazy or something evil to be a Satanist. A lot of Satanists who've been a part of that religion for years will tell these movies, no, that's not the case. There's a whole lot more meaning into it. Specifically, spiritual Satanists, they'll tell them, like, what the fuck is your problem? Now, don't get me wrong, there are certain sects, certain covens that are a little bit crazy, who would be what a lot of people will be opinion of evil. They're rare. They're far in between. They're not that many. Just like any other pagan religion, there's those couple of black specks, a couple of really bad forces out there. I shouldn't have said black, I'm sorry. I don't use color when it comes to a perception. What's the best way to say? There's those black sheep. Yeah, I'm going to just say it. Okay. There are those black sheep within the pagan community that, yes, we can call them evil. But remember, that in any religion there are people like that that are what we would consider evil. I think a good quote from a good book, a good movie said, religion is only flawed because men are flawed. All men, including me. Spiritual Satanist knows this. spiritual Satanists try really hard to get rid of their own flaws that they see in themselves that they individually do not like. That's what a lot of spiritual Satanists do. They try to take charge of their own lives, their own way. So for all those other pagans out there who you're interested in spiritual Satanism, or some of y'all newbies, some of y'all seekers out there who got the wrong impression, who wants to deem Satanism evil, that's not the case. Remember, a lot of it is based on the individuals, not the religion. Just as much we can't blame all Islam for the terrorist attack on 9/11, you cannot blame Christianity, all of Christianity. And I say all of Christianity because it wasn't all Christians that did what they did to us. It just so happened to be a very large portion, about a good 75%. We can't blame every Christian for even the major handful of what has happened to us. And we as pagans can't sit here and blame Satanism just because the Christians hate Satan. We can't be as ignorant as the people who try to destroy us. We must have an open mind, an open heart, and see what it is. See people for who they are, instead of pushing them aside. That type of ignorance is their ignorance. We don't become them. We don't become our tormentors. We strive to become better than our tormentors. I'm not saying paganism is better than Christianity. I'm just saying we should be better than our tormentors. We should think better, act better. We should carry ourselves better. So we should, with an open mind, really dissect what this is before we deem it good or evil. Thank y'all. Have a good day. Blessed be.